You've been adjusting your power and your speed for an hour, maybe longer. The result still looks like this: muddy, overburned, nothing like what you see other people posting. Here's what nobody is telling you: your settings are probably fine. And if you're using img-r to prep your files, which is the right move, there's one more step inside xTool Studio that most people get wrong, and it is silently ruining their results. This came off the same machine at the same settings as that bad result. Same wood, same file, same laser. 5 mistakes stand between those two outcomes, and not one of them is your power or your speed. Let's fix all 5 right now. Mistake 1. You used img-r to prep your file, which is exactly right. You downloaded the bitmap, imported it into xTool Studio, and then let xTool Studio apply its own dithering on top. That's the mistake. img-r has already converted your image into a precise dot pattern optimized for your laser on wood. When you set Jarvis mode in xTool Studio, it runs its own dithering algorithm over that already processed file. You're dithering the image twice. The result is darker than it should be, the mid-tone detail gets compressed, and you lose the tonal range that makes a portrait look like a portrait. And because it does not look obviously ruined, just too dark, you go straight to adjusting your power. Your power's fine. Your bitmap mode is wrong. The fix is one setting in xTool Studio. When you import your img-r bitmap, set your bitmap mode to grayscale. Not Jarvis, grayscale. Grayscale tells xTool Studio to use the file exactly as img-r processed it. No second dithering pass, no additional processing. It may look a little strange on your screen, but the algorithm that you used in img-r is going to make your photo look terrific when it's engraved. That's what you want. And here is the complete img-r workflow so you have it. It's relatively inexpensive, it's browser-based. You can find a link in the description. So we upload our image, we choose grayscale, find our image file, and we bring it in. Once we see the image on the screen, we scroll to the bottom and click resize. We change our DPI to 318, and then we can resize it to whatever size we want. I'm going to change my measurement to inches and resize it to 6 inches wide, making it 9 inches tall, and then I click OK. All right, on the right hand side you see the image resized properly, and we're going to click on Material, Norton, and then Norton Wood. Click OK. And on the right hand side you'll see that dithering algorithm applied to your image on the preview. And at this point we go ahead and we download as a BMP or a bitmap. Save it to your computer. Then we go into xTool Studio and we import that image, the bitmap version. Scale it to fit your screen, and make sure that your bitmap mode is set to grayscale. That's the entire process. img-r processed file in Jarvis mode, double dithered, too dark, midtones gone. Same file in grayscale mode, full tonal range, clean result. One drop down. That's the entire fix. Mistake 2. Power too high. This is what the Statue of Liberty looks like at 60% power on the xTool S1 40 watt burning basswood. Every shadow area burns completely solid. The midtone information that makes a photo read as a photo is gone. This machine runs hot. 60% on basswood portrait work is not a starting point. It's a ruined piece. The confirmed number is 35%, not 50, not 45, 35. 35% gives you enough energy to produce deep dark burns in the shadow areas while preserving the lighter tones in the highlights. That tonal range is what makes a portrait look like a portrait. If your result is too light at 35, go up 5% at a time on a test square. If it's too dark, come down, but start at 35. One thing worth knowing: the power that produces a good photo engraving on basswood is not the same power you use for bold text or cutting. 35% for portrait work, 60% for bold text where you want full clean tape burn through. Different jobs, different numbers. Do not let one setting bleed into the other. Mistake 3 is the one almost nobody talks about. Air assist too high. High air assist on a wood photo engrave blows the charred material away from the burn point before it settles into the grain. That char is your contrast. Blow it away and the result comes out flat, washed out, and low contrast. Even at perfect power and speed settings, you will blame your settings. Your settings are fine. Your air assist is wrong. Level 1, low. That's the setting for every wood engraving job on this machine. Not high, not auto, not max. Level 1 gives you enough airflow to keep the lens clear without stripping your contrast off the surface. High air assist and max are for cutting, and when you need to clear smoke from a deep cut channel. For engraving, level 1 every time without exception. If you've been getting consistently flat, low contrast results on wood, and your air assist has been running high, change that one setting and run the same job again. The difference is significant and you'll see it immediately. Mistake 4, wrong wood. Pine is cheap and it's everywhere, but its grain is wildly unpredictable. What you see here is the Statue of Liberty on pine at identical settings to the basswood result. The uneven blotchy contrast is not a settings problem, it's a wood problem. Pine's resin content and variable grain density fight the laser, and there's no setting that fixes it. Same file, same machine, same settings. The only variable is the wood. Basswood has a tight, consistent grain structure and defined surface that holds detail. It's what you reach for every time fine detail matters. Portraits, photos, anything where tonal range is the point. Pine works for bold signage and large text where the grain variation does not fight your design. Not for portrait work. Match the wood to the job before you open the software. Portrait or photo engraving, basswood, full stop. The material decision happens before the settings decision. Get that order right and you eliminate one of the most common ruined piece causes before the laser ever starts. Mistake 5, skipping the test piece. You have a beautiful piece of basswood on the bed, the design looks right, you're confident, and you hit go. Something goes wrong. The file was not quite right, the settings were off for this specific board, something that a 2-minute test on a scrap piece would have caught before it touched your good material. I've done this, everyone does this. It still costs people pieces every single week. 2-inch square. Same sheet as your good material, same file, same settings. Run it first. Evaluate it under good light before you do anything else. Is the contrast right? Is the detail rendering correctly? Is anything burning solid that should not be? 2 minutes of your time. Every ruined piece costs significantly more than 2 minutes to replace. New wood species, test. New file you've not run before, test. Material you've not touched in a few weeks, test. New settings for any reason, test. Build it in like it's non-negotiable and watch how quickly the ruined pieces stop happening. 5 mistakes. Wrong file prep, power too high, air assist too high, wrong wood, and skipping the test piece. Fix those 5 things and your photo engravings will improve immediately. Not after more settings adjustments. Not after buying new equipment. On your very next piece. Every single one of these is fixable today and none of them require touching your power or your speed. If this helped, subscribe. I put out laser tutorials every week based on real production experience, not theory. And if you want the complete confirmed settings breakdown for the xTool S1 40 watt on wood, that video is right here. I'll see you in the next one.